Hello, I'm Jaime Martinez with Schola, and today I'm at Family Life Academy Charter School number 2 with Principal Ortiz. Thank you for having us.
Hi, high five. Thank you for being here. It's nice to have this talk.
Yeah, it's awesome to be here, learn about your school. Can you please tell us about your mission and vision for the school?
So Family Life Academy Charter Schools, there are 3 elementary schools and 1 middle school campus. We go K to 8. So that's pretty cool to see a kindergartner graduating all the way to 8th. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've had that experience. It's really awesome. And we are centered around social justice. Our founder, Dr. Bishop Raymond Rivera, he is a social activist out there, still doing his thing, a warrior for the people, and he chose to create these schools. We are, as our name implies, Family Life Academy. Part of our vision and mission is to bridge the connection between schools and families. We cannot create amazing scholars, amazing people without doing that work together as partners. And that is in our vision statement, in partnership with. We believe, and it is part of our vision and mission, to create a school that is orderly, that is nurturing, dynamic, and joyful. How cool is that, to have that in your mission statement? Where students are self-empowered, where they constantly have opportunities to affirm human values. And we live that. That is present here, very much present. So it's a pretty cool vision statement.
That's so powerful.
I think it's cool.
So with that just background in social justice and everything that you guys are doing, talk to us a little bit about what does that look like in the classrooms, at the school level, just in general.
I love that you asked that, because I think that's where there's a disconnect in schools, right? So again, part of the vision and mission is that instruction needs to be meaningful. So why would you teach children how to write a letter, how to write a business letter, how to write an argumentative essay, when they actually never use that to bring change, right? To bring change.
Right.
So always, in everything we do, we're constantly understanding our community. And part of that is embedded into the curriculum. So we have an inquiry approach in social studies and science. In literature, we read, again, culturally responsive texts. And I know that's like a buzzword, but we were doing that before it was hip, like before, everybody else, jumped on the bandwagon. And so all of that is centered around the needs of our community and for children of color. So how it looks in real life is our kids go out and protest.
Wow.
Our kids have gone out and we've protested about food justice. So we looked at stores, supermarkets in our community, and then we went down to the west side in Manhattan, and we looked at offering organic foods, superfoods. We write letters. We write letters to our council person. We've written letters to the president to ask for certain change. And so that's what social justice in the classroom really looks like.
That's so powerful.
Right?
Yeah.
It has to be meaningful. And young scholars, as young as 5 years old, they need to know they have a voice.
Yeah.
Their voice matters, right? And we're in a community that has been historically marginalized.
Yeah.
So to teach a little 5-year-old to speak up, to do the research that backs up what they're saying, that's powerful. And that's part of the school.
I love
that's
that.
part of our work every day.
I love that. And you mentioned the community several times. Talk to us about your community, who it is that you serve, and who should come here and why.
Everyone should come here. Let's start right there. So FLACS 2 is located in the Mott Haven section of the Bronx. FLACS 1 is in Highbridge section of the Bronx. FLACS 3 is in Morsania. And the middle school, we feed into the middle school. And that's also in, I believe, the borderline of Highbridge and Morsania. So we serve the South Bronx. However, we have families that come in from Brooklyn, from Queens, from Manhattan. We have families that come from everywhere. And why people should come here? it's a quality education. And I know you must hear that all the time. You must hear that all the time. But it really is.
Yeah.
It's rigorous. Again, it's standards-based, but with a focus on social justice, right? And inquiry learning. Like, that's a big deal. You take a question and you study that, you analyze it, you research, and you take action. But that's the community that we serve.
And that's perfect. And we do hear it all the time, but what we don't get is the moment you walk into the building, you feel that you're in a welcome space.
Oh my gosh,
Right
everyone
away.
says that. I mean,
There's a bunch of colors, it looks happy.
it is happy.
Like right away, it just changes you. So the attitude could be felt throughout the whole building. What does that look like inside of the classrooms in terms of what's your teaching style here?
Oh, that's a good question. So one, our classrooms are boisterous. They are not these typical quiet classrooms where kids are sitting with their hands folded and they're tracking. No, it is a boisterous classroom because it is a student-centered classroom. It is orderly, it is highly structured because there's intent behind meeting standards, right? There's intent, so it's highly structured, but it's fun. It's joyful. A lot of what we do, again, there's a lot of reading that happens. A lot of technology that is built into that as well. So our students have lots of opportunities to actually do presentations and not just create slides. You know how? You create a slide and it doesn't go to anyone. It's like, what the heck? So our kids get to present to other classes. They present to other classes, other grade levels, to the school leaders. That's very typical. Most of the day is hands-on, especially in math. There's a lot of, all kids have a math toolkit that as soon as math instruction begins, they know to grab their toolkit. And so that they have a concrete understanding of math sense.
Talk to us a little bit about the 2 teachers per classroom. How does that work?
So every classroom from K to 5th grade have 2 teachers in the classroom. One is the lead teacher and then one is a teaching assistant. And every teaching assistant is pursuing a career in education, which means we always have an experienced pool of teachers to choose from. So if any of our schools need a teacher, we pull from our teaching assistants. One of the things we do very well at all the FLACS schools is that we do grouping very well. And why is that important? So it's important because every learner gets what they need, right? So if you have a young scholar that takes a little longer to understand a concept or a skill or to master strategy, that young learner, that learner will get what they need. If you have the student who gets things very easily, sometimes those kids are forgotten. Well, they won't be because we provide time. It's built into the schedule, it's built into every subject's period, so that every learner gets what they need.
And from here, your students go to the middle school.
Yes.
And what does that look like?
So it carries right on over. So our kids, our K through 5th graders, they know the principal of the middle school. And they're introduced to him actually pretty early on. And so when the children go into the middle school, the principal already knows our children. There are meetings about that. He's not coming in not knowing his children, his scholars. He knows them.
Hello, this is Jaime Martinez with Schola. Today we're at Family Life Academy Charter Schools at their middle school location, and we're joined by Principal Adler. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, it's great to be able to tour your brand new school. Can you tell us a little bit about the school and the mission and vision for the school?
Of course. So as I'm sure you heard with one of our sister schools that you spoke to, we're very much affiliated with our founding organization, LPAC, Latino Pastoral Action Committee. And partnering with them, we really want to make sure we foster the growth of every child by catering to the whole child, and of course, you know, stressing academics as well as character, and, you know, really building humans that give back to the community they come from. So it's a really homegrown set of values where kids can then give back to their community as they go through this process.
That's really powerful, and that's something that keeps coming through with the schools that we talk to. Can you talk about the core values that you guys have?
Oh, I'd be happy to. Truthfully, I believe that one could get just as far in life by exhibiting good values and character as they can by exhibiting high academic performance. So we, you know, came up with a set of values based on the school's mission and vision, and they are scholarship, empathy, integrity, grit, and global citizenship. And we represent each one of those with one of the school's colors. And every marking period, we celebrate students who are exhibiting these attributes, you know, regardless of academic performance, because these are things that should be celebrated at this formidable age in their life.
That's really powerful, and I love how you guys just reinforce that and build up the students, not just focusing on the academic piece. But if we focus on the academics, can you tell us what makes the education or academic piece different here than other schools?
Well, just like our sister schools, you know, there's a real strong emphasis on student-centered learning, a lot of dialogue, a lot of inquiry, project-based learning, critical thinking, questioning. You know, the teacher is more of a facilitator, and the students there's a lot of self-discovery involved in learning, and a lot of collaboration involved in the learning process. And I think that's what's unique in all of our schools, and we try to continue that here in the middle school. And it really is the way that an adolescent should learn. You know, obviously an adolescent is very capable of absorbing a lot of information, and their brain is ripe for growth. And you have to kind of create and sustain an environment that really fosters them to be able to grow in a variety of ways, academically, socially, and emotionally.
Yeah. And who can come here, and how much does it cost?
Anyone can come here if they live in the Bronx. Of course, we are a lottery system, just like the elementary schools. And it costs absolutely nothing, as schools should.
Michael, can you tell us a little bit about this high school articulation program that you guys offer?
Absolutely. So we are a school that has expanded from 167 kids to close to 520 kids. And we want to ensure that every single one of our scholars has the opportunity to go to the best high school that fits them and their qualities. So the high school application process in New York City is such that it's similar to college, where you have to really come up with a set of choices that really fit your, you know, pursuits, for lack of a better term. And so we have programs that prepare students for these entry exams, which are free of charge. And we also ensure that students who are applying to art schools or schools that have different types of needs are also catered to. So going to high school in New York City is a very unique process, and we've really developed a program that caters to the families to ensure that each scholar gets into a school that's the best fit for them. And if that school's not the best fit, they can come back a year later, even if they're not still attending school here, and we will work with them to help them get into a better school.
Where are you physically located?
So we're in, I usually say by Yankee Stadium, because that's like the landmark by here. So we're in between the Concourse and Webster Avenue, right by Yankee Stadium. We're on 165th Street, between Teller and Finley Avenue.
So you guys are very centrally located, and the building is hard to miss.
It's very vibrant, stands out. You could see it from the Metro North, which is one of our local trains. You kind of see it when you come over the hill, coming off the subway. So this is a landmark as well. This is certainly a landmark as well.
And then where can people find more information about your school? What's your website?
At our website, FLACSNYC.com.
Awesome, and you can also find more information about this wonderful school on Schola.com. You can look at their profile, schedule school tours, and begin the enrollment process as well. But thank you so much, Michael, for having us.
It's been an honor. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today.
Thanks.